Yeah!
You wanted the best! You got the best! The hottest band ever! Kiss! Hey! Who likes cold gin?
Welcome to your 5th annual Tom and Dan Cruise Show. I hope you guys are having a good time. Real quick, I'd like to thank our sponsors for our cruise, Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi on West Colonial. I know Tony's here. He comes on the cruise every year. We appreciate it.
Also, well, he has to.
He
has to. It's to keep us, talk about Subaru, you idiots.
Also, West End Trading Company. I know Paul's probably gambling right now. Last time I checked, he was thousands up.
I've not seen him the entire cruise.
He's gambling every day now. Also, Marlin and Barrel in Jacksonville, their awesome distillery, Red Cypress Brewery, Pyro Spot Fireworks. Craig's here. I know he's probably gambling with Paul. And we also got Streamline Mortgage Solutions.
None of the sponsors showed up for the show.
No. They're all gambling because they're rich.
Yeah,
they're getting rich off us. Also, Fairvilla Megastore, and of course, Ahoy Cruises. Give it up for Tony and Deb. Who put this cruise together and does a great job. And by the way, we have proof now because we've seen another cruise, a group cruise on the ship, and
oh man. Who went to the Ryan Cabrera Magic Show?
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. Hey everybody, watch me make my early 2000s career disappear.
I feel bad. Oh man,
I felt
that's
so bad.
mean. That's on the way down. Yep, it is. It is. It's on the way down.
It's bad.
Not coming back up.
It's bad when they paid twice as much. Also, they contacted Tony right before the cruise. They're like
we need bodies.
Yeah, they're like, hey, any of your Tom and Dan listeners want to come so that there's someone there watching? That's a bad sign. So,
not that we would ever talk about it in detail and laugh at anyone's expense.
I want to introduce our guest this year. He was nice enough to come on this cruise with us, even after the OLE incident. Who was that OLE? All right.
There they are. Welcome to This Is Your Life. Face your fears.
You may know him from the Time Suck podcast, comedian Dan Cummings.
Oh, thank you. I should have told you guys before, but I invited Ryan Cabrera. He's sitting in the back.
That's fine.
I hope I did you proud with my rendition.
It's not his fault. It was the promoter who sold them. They're like, you're going to get rich off this.
Too late. You said what you said.
I was trying to backtrack, Dan.
Yeah. He's one of my favorites. I mean, that On the Way Down song, come on.
I'm not joking, but when me and Dan got here, Daniel was setting up the equipment, and Dan's like, hey, how do you want me to, sit down, you introduce me? He's like, do you want me to go backstage? I'm like, no, never go backstage.
No, that's how it happens.
That's how it happened with OLE.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're eating a freeze-dried hamburger with only ketchup while a small boy funnels beers and checks out of the podcast. That boy was me. I gave it to God.
Bathroom.
I gave it to
Weird.
God. Yeah. Then I pissed in the shower. I pissed in the highlight shower. I'm not afraid to admit it. I went backstage at the Highlight Front Town and I pissed in the shower that they would wash their bodies in. And then somebody texted me and told me, hey, if you open some of the cabinets, they've left their jerseys in there. You should steal one. One of our listeners texted me that. I'm not gonna.
So Dan, it's Dan Cummings' first cruise, and he chose to cruise with us.
He chose you guys.
And
he chose you.
So
he upped the difficulty level of a cruise.
So Dan, what do you think so far? It's the final day of the cruise. How's it going?
Not vomiting yet, so very good, very good. My last boat experience was a lot of puke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a smaller boat, and I didn't realize, once you got seasick, that even when you go out in the water, it continues.
Yeah.
So my last one was this Hawaii thing. I got violently ill, and then a lot of bad advice, hey, man, just hammer a beer, and then you'll be fine.
No.
And then, I did, I'm like, maybe he knows something I don't. And it was just, more shit to throw up. And then... And then finally, like, we get to a place where they're like, all right, everybody in the water. And then the water made me more seasick somehow. And then I was there's like this weird thing where I was puking, and like the second the puke hit the water, fish were eating the puke.
Yeah.
And it was like this whole little ecosystem.
It's the circle of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is way better. This is way
It's
better.
a circle of life. It's a fact that fish love Jägermeister.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't wasting
They
time
love
on
it
that
shiny,
puke.
the gold.
You know, fish are stupid. They'll eat anything. Fuck fish. Yeah.
Write that down. Do you guys have your pads? Do you have your time suck pads? Write fuck fish. Write that down. You'll be quizzed on that later.
Anytime I'm at like a lake in Orlando with my boys, and then like
You tell them to yell fuck fish.
no, but
They're like, yeah, fuck you, fish.
Don't you want a fish tank for our studio?
no, I know, but
And we're gonna write fuck
Pretty
fish
sure
on
you
the back
begged
of it.
BDMs to hook you up with one.
We're gonna get a fish tank. We're gonna write "fuck fish" on the back of it and put a bunch of fish in it. It's gonna be overcrowded.
they're just stupid. They'll eat anything. Like I'll break up some of my son's goldfish, and they're eating them, and then we run out. I'm like, I just spit a loogie in there. They eat that. and I'm like, throw some dirt. They start coming up. They're like, they don't know. They don't know anything.
They
I
don't.
do that with ducks.
Right.
I spit, and I'm like, watch that duck eat my spit. Look at that duck's an idiot. I say this to my daughter, and he eats the mud. My spit will land on the mud.
I like how you guys are surprised by the animals doing dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we're
like,
dumb.
Like you're hoping to like spit and have the duck be like, dude, what the fuck? I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a duck. We don't have to spit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's a duck in Baldwin who's like, hey, watch this guy fucking spit on the mud. I'm going to eat it. You know, like he's a...
So, how many of you guys got off the boat at Nassau? All right.
All right.
So I know me and Daniel, now I didn't book this, but Andrea, the most organized person in the world, Daniel's wife,
Pretty organized.
booked this Blue Lagoon trip, and Dan Cummings.
Did anybody else go to Blue Lagoon?
Yeah, we didn't see
Yeah,
that
you
many-
were there.
Yeah.
That place was fucking awesome, right?
And so I know Dan Cummings went with his wife. They had like a separate dolphin adventure at Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
Which
They big dicked us. They did hey, we get to see the dolphins. We're just
hug 'em.
like, no. You get to sit in the sand and watch the people play with the dolphins. My wife got the cheap shit, basically.
Yeah, but I can imagine, now I didn't see Dan, I'm going to ask him about how his experience was, but I did the Discovery Cove thing a while ago. I got some half-off tickets at the radio station, so I took my wife and we did Discovery Cove, but they're like way, like, you know, make sure the dolphins are in the safe zone, don't insult the dolphins, like, you can hold the dolphin's dorsal fin, but if it's not prepared,
Hey,
then...
do you remember the speech when we first met you that the producer from Playboy Radio would give us, or Playboy TV would give us, about like, hey, no matter what you think of the girl, do not insult the girl.
Right.
Don't say anything. Don't even say like, I like your tan, because it might not be a tan.
Right.
Like you don't know. Like it was like a thing.
Yeah.
That's how they react to the dolphins.
Yeah, so-
Dolphins and nude models, very similar.
So, in Discovery Cove, they're like, if the trainer's like, sir, if I yell at you to release, you must release. The dolphin's scared.
What are
and
you doing?
And so, like, I get on.
How do you get that far in the dolphin speech where they're like, sir, you must release the dolphin? I feel like it's already
What were you
gone
doing
wrong.
to the dolphin?
It's already gone wrong at that point.
And what I'm saying is they're very overprotective
How
of the
about
dolphin.
like here, meet the dolphin, not release, loose it.
But I can
That's
imagine.
what the
Sir.
dog trainers do on live PD.
Sir, that's
Loose
a
it.
blow. Sir, that's a blowhole. You're choking the dolphin.
Yeah.
You
And it's-
can't breathe, sir.
It's just pulling fat dads 30 feet. And then I can imagine in the Bahamas, less regulation, less animal rights activists protesting out the island. So it's more of the whipping and the burning the dolphin with the cigarette. How does it work?
It was just for like a lot of interaction. Like you had to pet the dolphin's back, you had to pet the dolphin's stomach, and then there was one thing that was kind of weird. The dolphin would hug you, but then when it was just sweet, and then when you're done hugging the dolphin, then you have to kiss the dolphin on the mouth. And they were adamant about that. Like one girl just kind of like hurt, and she didn't want it on her lips.
Yeah.
And then the lady running was like, no, he can tell the difference. He can tell the difference. you gotta. And she just kept going until finally she just said,
That's what I do with my daughter. I'm like, give me kissy. She'll go like right here. I'm like, no, on the lippies. Yeah, I get it. I'm a fucking dolphin trainer.
But I did think that was weird though, how like this dolphin is forced to mouth kiss every person that comes through.
Maybe that's what he wants or she wants.
You don't know. He did have creepy eyes.
Did they do the noise? Because they're loud. They're really loud.
Oh yeah, they would like she would do little signals, and then it would yell or
they yell,
spit it, or like flip water or whatever.
Yeah.
The only
they teach dolphins. It's all behaviors are like dickhead. Like I'm gonna splash you.
Right.
I'm gonna scream at you.
And this dolphin,
I'm gonna spit at you.
They could make like noises like the dolphin we were interacting with was like fuck you. Like he'd do like a little.
Yes.
You're like what? Fuck you. And it's like it could say fuck you. It could say a few other things.
Save me! Like, oh shit!
Yeah.
Help me!
I don't want to kiss anyone anymore.
Help me! Help me!
Like that.
Calm down, bro. You're ruining my time.
Your wife has nice titties. Nice titties.
So
Dolphins are horny.
Oh yeah, I've heard about they can have sex with you.
Yeah. We saw one time we were at Epcot touring Living Seas, and you and I saw a dolphin with its big, giant dolphin dick in a ball.
Yeah.
It was like a giant wiffle ball, and the dolphin had just skewered it. Like a kebab.
Yeah, it's bright red, dark.
Yeah, bright red.
Yeah. And
nature, you can't find that color in nature of a dolphin's penis. It's just fire engine, but more.
Wow.
So when we got back from Blue Lagoon, I'm with Andrew and Daniel and Maisie, and my wife told me like, hey, make sure to get something for the boys. Get some Bahamian bric-a-brac to bring home.
You got to get some junk.
Yeah. So
anybody buy any junk?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I got a hat. So that. And me and Daniel were talking about it. We were like, Andrew's like, you could just get some at the gift shop in the cruise. I'm like, no. I want true Bahamian junk.
Yeah, you gotta get the bullshit. You can't. If you go here, everything you get here was made like in the United States, shipped to Port Canaveral, loaded on the boat. You want to get some shit that like was made in China and shipped to the Bahamas.
Well, I was actually looking for like true Bahamian like bric-a-brac.
Yeah, did you buy any bric-a-brac?
I didn't buy any bric-a-brac.
What about your wife?
Nope.
Ooh.
They're smart.
So
I think they're way better than we are.
What would be from the island? I know they brew a beer there. There's like a beer brewed on the island.
There's a brewery,
a brewery, and then there's a chocolate factory.
Yeah. Never go to the Bahamian Chocolate Factory.
I'm a child.
I was at the Bahamian Chocolate Factory last night.
Yeah, I think everybody was. Yeah, it's called every fucking stateroom. The Bahamian Chocolate Factory. Good God. So they're sticky and they stick to the sides. Put some water in there. God damn it.
Like I grew up in Miami. My dad used to like take his boat to the Bahamas and get like true Bahamian bric-a-brac and bring it back. But back in the 80s, it was before.
Yeah, your dad's Bahamian bric-a-brac was cocaine. I'm virtually certain. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because like we've determined that your dad was a drug runner, right? Like, I mean, you guys have connected the dots over all this, right? Am I right?
There's no reason I grew up the way I did. My dad was a diesel mechanic. Went constantly to Bahamas and back. Anyway, so. I'll do a podcast one day when my mom's cool with it. So you don't know how real that is. So I'm looking like because when I grew up, like my dad in the living room of our house had a sea turtle shell, like a real one, hanging up as decoration, which is totally illegal now. But back in the day, he was like, "Look what I got from the Bahamas. Got the shell." Like I think they found it or whatever. The turtle was.
You don't think your dad was hacking some sea turtle's head off on the back of his boat?
But there used to be, like I wanted to find like some. You remember they used to make like little monkey paw keychains and
every kid wants a monkey paw.
With the actual monkey's hand?
Yeah.
I remember the rabbit foot. I don't remember the
No,
monkey
it was a
paw.
monkey's hand.
In different countries, you used to be able to get them. Also, Daniel reminded me they used to have like petrified iguanas with like a super glue top hat on, and they put a tiny.
It was like basically a dead iguana that they'd hot glued a miniature top hat on.
Yeah, and they put a beer in his hand, like, look, he's drunk.
Yeah, they'd hot glue them. You know those little mini beers that. Okay, you guys have all been to shell shops, right?
Could you pay extra for a live iguana with a hot glued hat on?
No.
Yeah. Ooh, hard to catch him though. He's moving.
So
because that initial hat, when you put that hat on him, it's like, hey, go. You gotta go get him. So you remember the little shells? Like it was like E.T. and they made it out of shells, and then he'd have the can of beer in his hand, hot glued. Everybody had one of those as a kid. They did the same thing with these dead iguanas.
That's what I wanted to find because, like, if you just
Shark embryo in a jar. That's another good one. Did anybody have a shark embryo in a jar? Yeah, everybody had that.
It's a big-
alligator head.
Yeah, big in the
Open
80s.
alligator head. Everybody had that.
So-
Florida snowman. Everybody had that.
Yeah. So, and I knew that at the beginning, like when you walk off the boat, there's the like the corporate gift shop. Then you go past. Then there's the initial gift shops at the front. But that's where all the shipped in China stuff, because now, like, you know, now because of globalization, it's just cheaper to
Yeah,
get.
you got to go in the back, like
Oh,
in
yeah.
Gremlins.
Yeah. It's cheaper to get a bunch of the Chinese-made Bahamas bric-a-brac and just ship it here and then sell it, than to make their own
So
stuff.
what'd you buy?
So I started walking down the alleys
No.
far. Now, I did, when I left Daniel and Andrea did mention to Daniel, and you could...
Yeah, she said, "Do you think we should let him go alone?" Well, actually, she said it like this: "Do you think we should let him go alone?" And I was like, "Well, he's a grown man, and quite frankly, I'm sick of his shit." No, I didn't say that. But I said, it'll be fine. I
Yeah.
did one of those. I'm like, he's good.
Now, they
He's
do
good.
have a reason to worry, because my wife, I kind of describe it like this.
Every day we get an emergency text message about something that has happened, and then 2 minutes later we'll get a message saying that crisis averted.
Yeah.
It's like, he lost his phone. He found his phone. He's off the boat. He's on the boat.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
bleeding.
you know, like Mr. Magoo. Who's seen Mr. Magoo? You know the supernatural force that keeps Mr. Magoo safe? Like, it just, hey, I start walking to this beam. Oh, semi-truck. That's like my wife. She's lived with me for 20 years. She's the supernatural force that keeps me safe. So, like, I'm about to walk in front of a bus. She's like, oh, don't go there. And, like, so that's how I'm used to living my life. So when my wife's not here, I just wander around like Mr. Magoo, but with no luck, which causes problems. So I started walking down the alleys because I was like, you know, the good stuff is deep. You gotta
Yeah, you
go
gotta go deep.
Yeah, you gotta go like far,
But
because
not too deep. Too deep is drugs and prostitution.
Yeah.
But like just deep enough, that's where you get to the fun toys.
So I'm walking down this aisle of the straw market, and I see.
Is this my fault because I told you what my dad got me that he hated?
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. Explain that.
I got this little foam rat from Mexico City. It was a little piece of foam, and inside of it there was a handmade clay, like a spindle, like a little, like you'd wrap thread on. And it had a rubber band going through it, and then it had a long wire. There was a coat hanger that held it. And if you pulled it back, when it went forward, it would look like a real fucking rat. It was amazing. This guy sold them on the street. And he like showed it to me. Of course, my dad got pissed because he showed it to me. Of course, I wanted one. I got one. It was my favorite toy. And like any good toy that you buy in a third world country, it breaks in like an hour.
After you get it home.
Yeah.
It's powered by rubber bands.
Yeah. So I told this to Tom. He's like, "That's what I'm getting."
Yes.
Rats.
Made out of asbestos foam.
Yes,
Yeah.
asbestos rats.
So that's what I want to get from my boys. So I saw this tiny little hut, and like it was like had beads in the front. So I walked through, and there was this dude like basically.
Hello.
He's like, everything here $5. So I started looking at the walls, and I was like, all right, this is where it's at. Like this is.
He
where...
was actually in a Five Below. He's like looking around. Wow, they've got name brand products here.
I'm like this stuff was made in the Bahamas and not in China. So I started looking around. I'm like picking up little like glass blown turtles with like true sand inside and all this stuff. I'm looking around, and then there's this table, and I walk over to it, and I'm like, that's perfect. And who's seen like they make airplanes out of Coca-Cola cans and like Sprite cans,
Yeah.
and basically it's like they make a
Old
train.
people love those. They hang them outside of their RVs.
Yeah. So I'm like, perfect. Like, this is some third world Bohemian bric-a-brac that I wanted. So I picked up a Coca-Cola airplane and a Coca-Cola Sprite airplane. So
Yeah,
there's
they've convinced you to take trash off the island. That's great.
They
You're
turned it-
taking cans off the island.
yeah. So it was a Sprite can airplane and a Coke can airplane. And I'm like, oh, it's perfect. One for Max, one for Tommy. And I pick it up. I'm like, is this $5 too? He's like, no. Those are $10.
Oh.
And then I was like, well, I don't care, $10. But then I didn't buy it.
$10 for that Coke can.
I know.
All right.
But The reason I didn't buy it is because I was terrified that I was supporting something horrible, like as if I was buying like an ivory chair, like, you know, a tiger penis or whatever. Like, don't buy those. You're supporting poaching. So I was like, I thought if I would buy the Coca-Cola airplane.
A tiger penis chair is pretty dope.
I know. But I was like, how is these
And how
made?
does that work? Are each of the legs a tiger penis? Or is there just one out of the seat?
What would you think you were supporting by getting the Coke can?
Like, I was like, who made
Coca-Cola,
these?
Atlanta, Georgia, apparently.
I was afraid in some part of the island there's like kids with bloody fingers from the aluminum.
He makes us make the cans, man.
making
You
the Coke.
wanted a true bohemian.
Yeah, but I started feeling guilty. I was
Bohemian
like,
bric-a-brac.
I think I'm thinking
Remember,
I maybe-
only you guys can stop Bohemian children Coke cans.
But I like that you were okay buying the kids can for $5 though. But then when it was $10, you're like, nah, I can't support this.
Well, I started thinking, I was like, why is it $10? It's $10 because some
an excellent
kids
point.
are making these by hand.
And you're like, I don't want that kid to get any money.
No, but if I buy it, then it just puts money into the people's pockets that are forcing the. Anyway, I went through this whole thing. I was also on THC, so I went back to the front and bought some Chinese shit.
What'd you get him? What'd you get him?
A bracelet and I think a tiny ashtray with a guy with a giant boner. So when they start smoking,
And now,
then everybody likes it. You can't go wrong. He's lazy, sitting there, big boner.
a siesta.
Boner.
Also, it's all like Jamaica themed. I'm like, this is the Bahamas, not Jamaica. Everything's Jamaica.
They mixed up the shipping containers. It's fine.
now, sadly, some kid gets put down because his family was barely getting by with Coke can money. And they needed that $10.
But it's like Robert Kraft getting a handy. He's supporting like human trafficking.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
By buying the Coke can.
You are a modern day.
I don't know
You
you would-
are Dickie Kraft.
I think he was participating in human trafficking when you're actually getting the hand job.
Okay,
You had that like a distant support.
That's a, so.
We only read headlines, Dan.
So, rewind back to getting on the ship. We saw something that we thought was really funny.
I witnessed something that was amazing.
And we can't tell the story properly unless we bring this gentleman on stage with us. Give it up for Big Tim Murphy.
Now, Big Tim is a big fan of cruises, and he says that cruises save his life. But getting on the boat, did you guys did anybody see Big Tim get on the boat?
Yeah, all right.
Is anybody with me?
So, Big Tim, explain to us why you were on a wheelchair getting on the boat.
I found out.
I'll tell you
last
what I
year
saw.
that if you tell them you need a wheelchair, they'll put you on the boat right then. It took me 7 minutes to check in. When I got to the top ramp, I said, I got it from here, friend, handed him a 5 and walked the rest of the way.
Now, let's talk about what me and Daniel saw, because what we saw is a tiny Filipino man
Oh, man.
He
pushing
was from Nepal.
I'm
He was
bigger.
from Nepal.
I'm a bigger man.
Nepalese man pushing Big Tim up a gangway in the wheelchair. Have you ever seen a strong man try to pull a semi-truck? He has to lean forward, almost vertical, and he was pushing Big Tim up with all his might. The guy weighed $130 wet.
At best. At best.
And
I thought he was a child standing there next to it first.
and
When we walked up, there was a gentleman in a suit who had pulled a stanchion across and wouldn't let us on the gangway. And then I see this tiny little gentleman from Nepal giving it his all. I mean, literally ninja warrior pushing Tim. And then the guy goes, sorry, guys, gangway's closed. We have to open a second gangway. Second gangway! And they're like yelling, and the whole goddamn ship was shut down. It was shut down. There was no way on or off. Tim had secured the only gangway, and they had to open a second gangway. That, my friends, is an entrance.
so,
I'm a cruise VIP, baby.
so Big Tim, you having fun?
Yes.
How many buttholes did you see?
I haven't seen a single butthole.
I saw a butthole.
I know, I was there.
Well, what happened? Why didn't you see
I
it?
wasn't in the view range, and I didn't want to see that fella's butthole that bad.
Fair
You
enough.
encouraged some butthole participation, though.
I did. I told some of your listeners to put a finger in, thinking they'd know who I was, because they're wearing a Tom and Dan lanyard. So about 3 o'clock in the morning, drunk on Jameson, while a fella was rubbing his girl's ass, I said, "Slip a finger in."
Yeah, I asked him earlier. I was like, why the fuck would you say that?
I just want y'all to get laid.
Now, I did see Big Tim the second morning. Now, I know a lot of you didn't heed the warning of not immediately getting on the ship and getting
you guys
blackout
lost
drunk.
your minds. You went so hard the first day.
Before the ship even moving, I saw some of you no soul.
Oh,
And I'm
God.
like,
God,
We're
and
still-
some of you were like, I've been here since 8:30. I'm like, the boat doesn't even open.
I still have.
How did you do that?
I still have LTE in my phone. Why are you blacked out yet? Anyway, Samantha was one of those.
I was one of those people. I was, in fact, one of those people.
You know it's bad when I talk to people the next day and they're like, I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, did you see Samantha? They're like, oh, no. They're like, oh, no.
I had like 100 people the next day. Are you okay? I was like,
Yeah, people were coming
Yes,
up
it
to
was
me.
bad.
People
You
were
went
like, you
pretty
need to
hard
check
on
on
the top
Samantha.
end.
She's crying.
So
I'm like, she's crying. Why is she crying? They're like, she's really drunk.
and
I cried.
So Samantha was convinced. Now I understand. It's like when my wife thinking I'm always lying. There's a reason.
Because you lie a lot.
Samantha, when I saw her at casino night, she was no soul.
Yeah, I don't recall being at the casino.
Yeah.
So
You were telling me, you're like, Tom, I gotta get you out of here. I'm like, I've had 2 beers, I'm fine. You're like, no.
someone should have got me out of there.
That's what I was trying to say, but there was
Blacked
no.
out Sam doesn't understand anything.
Somebody came up to me and said, "Sam's trying to get Tom out of the casino." I was like, "Tom only had 3 beers."
Yeah. But meanwhile, she thought, like, in her state of mind, that I needed
I
help.
was also scared because he's by himself on the boat, and I'm like, I know how this ends. Usually, either myself or Tommy Gilligan walks you back to your room every cruise.
He's been a
That's
very
true.
good boy.
Yeah, that's true. So the next morning, I see Big Tim. I'm walking through the O'Shanahan's pub. I see Big Tim. He's like, "Hey, baby." It's a very hungover, "Hey, baby," and he's barefoot in the overalls from the night before. And explain what happened, Tim, and what you're doing.
Those fucking fascists wouldn't let me eat breakfast without shoes on.
I like how that you need shoes, but you have a thonger, and you're sitting in the
Yeah.
dining room.
They
Thonger's
gave me-
fine. No
Yeah.
shoes, you're an animal.
They gave me 2 shots of Jameson at 8:15 in the morning, but I couldn't fucking eat breakfast without shoes on. I had 6 mudslides before 10 a.m., but God forbid my bare feet offended fucking somebody.
Do you think it was the overalls at all?
I don't know. I think it's because she didn't like me because I talked shit about Joseph Tito, the former Democrat, the Yugoslavia dictator guy from back in the day.
That's probably it. Yeah, nailed it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's got to be it.
It's not the extremely drunk barefoot leprechaun that they're scared of.
Yeah, it's got to be the passing political comment.
There's a
Now,
lot of fucking former Yugoslavs on this fucking boat.
now, as you guys know, in your stateroom, they have the bathroom and the shower separate, and the bathroom is for a tinier gentleman or lady.
Well, it's also loud, like it's all glass in there. I swear to God, it's like a cathedral of shit. So it's loud.
Yeah. So Tim did find a workaround to the small bathroom, in which he found a secret handicapped bathroom on the ship.
There's a handicapped bathroom on every deck. There's one right outside here to the right.
Have
push
you
the
hit them
button.
all? Have you hit all 18?
You got to go inside, right? But you got to hit the red light. You got to wait. If that red light's not on and that door shuts, it's going to open right back up. People last year found that out when I got too drunk, and they saw me definitely not puking, but I was probably puking. Yeah, I'm not going to claim that one, but yeah, you got to make sure that red light's on. But that bathroom's giant.
Yeah. And
It's like 12 by 12.
Now, yeah, no, I know. And you said that that's a bathroom you could use comfortably.
Well, what the fuck else would do? Shit in the shower?
I mean, it sounds easier.
Fucking shoulders scrape on either side of the fucking toilet.
You know what I was thinking about? I was like, when I look at the humanity on the ship, I'm like, I bet you more adults shit themselves on cruise ships than any other place in the world.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, me and Daniel from prior, not Tom and Dan cruises, but prior radio cruises, have heard too many shit stories that make no sense. Remember the classic man goes into his bathroom and was found with, okay, this, I apologize how graphic this is, but there was a person on, this wasn't the Tom and Dan cruise, an old show we used to work on. And one of the listeners of that show went to their stateroom, and then their roommate walked into the room to look for him, and then opened the bathroom door and was like, "Go!" The guy had apparently poo-pooed
Everywhere.
Not only everywhere, but
the
like
ceiling, everything.
held it and started like
Yeah.
painting the walls.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
it's horrible,
yeah, it's
but
bad.
it didn't
It's
make
bad.
any sense. And then like
Everything. You know,
Fellas-
like he had a fucking freak out or something.
I don't want any more mudslides today.
fell asleep in there. And they had to like condemn the room and
Yeah.
stuff. I feel really.
They got to get this thing up and running too, so that means somebody has to come in there. They're ripping carpet up. They're like putting carpet down.
And I started thinking, I was like, how many of these employees? What do these employees think of humanity? Like they must have the worst skewed.
They'd probably join Al Qaeda when they're done with this.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Fucking hate America now for sure.
And then there was another poop story where on like the next.
Oh, the
cruise-
guy that fell in it.
Yeah, he pooped in the hallways
we
and then
have to do
fell,
this?
He did, fell asleep in it.
Did anybody pee the bed here?
Zach from Ohio.
Yeah.
Zach from Ohio,
First
he's
night.
been a frisky boy.
Yeah.
I think I was his 8th kiss.
Was
of the
Andrea
cruise.
in the bed with you?
Oh, that's not nice.
Damn, Zach.
There's a lot of pee pee poo poo. I feel horrible.
You guys got to dial. You guys eat any food? All you eat is ass.
I'm still hung up on the poop on the ceiling. Like, how
Yeah.
do you get drunk enough to have that be an idea in your head? Like, what are you angry about?
You mean that's not the last thing you think about when you're drunk? It's like, I'm
'cause
like,
you've
oh,
done
I gotta get the
something.
poop on the ceiling.
That's
And then you
that
pass
takes
out.
effort. That's like not a casual thing. That's like you planned it. Like, goddamn buffet won't stay open for fucking 30 more minutes. You know.
We still haven't been able to even come close to figuring it out.
No, we don't know.
And Dan, you told me a poop story. You said that one of the last years there was a lady who passed out in the hallway and black ooze was pouring out of her butt.
Yeah, you guys saw the black diarrhea girl. Black diarrhea.
Like the world's worst oil strike.
Yeah, on the tender, yeah. And it was coming out of both ends. She was puking and black diarrhea.
This is the same lady?
How do you black diarrhea?
In a white dress.
Why do we have to?
What is it with
I
you-
like your sadistic laugh after telling it. That's great.
People get on cruises and they're like, I'm going to drink 78,000 beers today, and then eat the
People
most
lose their
sodium.
mind. Like people, a guy at breakfast this morning. I'm sitting there with my daughter. Andrea went to get her food. I'm sitting there, and this guy's standing there, and he's like, "Look, tonight karaoke. I'm gonna wear my fucking silk shirt. I'm gonna do R. Kelly. I believe I can fly. Rip it open and start molesting girls. It'll fucking kill." And I'm like, all right.
No, don't say all right.
Yeah, see you tonight at karaoke.
When you said guy, you weren't talking about Tom, were you?
Well,
That was like a weird.
he was sitting there.
Tom had a little
Yeah.
crazy.
Speaking of R.
He's like,
Kelly,
it'll kill.
the second night we had dinner at the Kobe style
Have you guys done the
teppanyaki.
teppanyaki? It's good. Yeah.
And so
Buckle up, though.
our chef,
You know what I mean. Buckle up.
me and Daniel were laughing because our chef was like, he's doing the bits and stuff. He's like explaining why he can't do the onion volcano because of cruise fires and stuff. So he does like the rainbow and he does other tricks. He's throwing the shrimp in his hat, twirl the egg and all stuff. So as he's doing his spiel, he starts, like I think he folded over the egg and he's doing the egg snake.
He's doing the egg snake.
And then he's like,
it's a classic, the egg snake.
Then he starts singing R. Kelly, right? And everybody else, he's like, I believe I can fly, doing the egg snake, and everybody's like, ooh. And I'm like, ooh, apparently.
But he was like doing, I believe I can fry. Like he was like doing like a fried egg joke or something, you know?
Yeah. It hasn't filtered down to the cruise ship teppanyaki chef that R. Kelly songs are frowned upon nowadays.
You got to update that reference.
Yeah, he starts doing Fat Albert jokes and
Hey, gonna make some fried rice today.
You know, like we're like, oh my God.
We're like, no, don't talk about that either.
And he's like, Billie Jean. He was doing everything. Every reference he did was a pedophile or a rapist. Every reference he did.
He has no idea. He's not exposed.
He's Weinsteining the white sauce into all of our cups. We were laughing. So you and I were crying laughing. This guy, everything he said was a dated reference to a criminal.
He's pouring the white sauce on the vegetables. He's like, oh, Einstein. Big Tim, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me, baby.
We look forward to you going on the next cruise.
I don't know yet. We'll see. I got to live past this one still.
Yeah, one more day you need to survive. All right. Speaking of our next cruise, if you guys want to book Tom and Dan Cruise 2020, or just talk to Tony and Dan.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. Who are we bringing up next?
So up next, you may know this gentleman from. He's been on probably every Friday Free Show for the past. For
a hot minute,
20 or so shows. Ladies and gentlemen,
Get on the bus!
John Busegger.
Get on the bus, get on the bus.
Hey! Wait till he gets
Or as
up.
I like to refer
is that
to
a beer
him,
for me? Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Bus.
Hey.
Yeah, there it is. You guys like Bus, don't you? Yeah, we like him too. This guy is impervious to being bullied. Last night he was being bullied at sushi.
I didn't think I was being bullied, but apparently you've been bullied a lot in your life.
Yeah.
And so you know
some of
the
us aren't
signs of a bully.
6'9". Yeah, he was being bullied a little bit, and the Bus shuts it down because he can assimilate in any situation. He can fit in, right?
Was it like the Ryan Cabrera posse or something?
Yeah, it was like the posse, and they were bringing sushi over and saying this stuff's off the menu.
Ryan Cabrera's posse was bullying Bus?
Well, no, they were. Okay, the move is, and you guys know this move. We were having a conversation with your family.
Cabrera?
And then somebody else comes in and oh, hey, what's going on? You know, that move. We're like, I'm taking over.
I just thought he was being nice and wanted to give me some food.
There's nobody nice left in the world.
I'm confused as well, too. I like that your bully examples, you're having fun with your family, and then someone comes over like, hey, are you guys doing okay? What's going on? And you're like, get the fuck away from me!
It wasn't that. But that's really funny.
So they gave us 2 free plates of sushi, and I ate them both.
Yeah.
You guys don't understand.
Those bullies gave you 2 free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bus
If
is the
that's
purest
bullying, what's
human
so bad
being
about
that I know.
bullying?
No, you didn't. You don't understand.
No.
Like, hey, man, I hope you enjoy this.
That's 2019 snowflake bullying. Everything. He gave me sushi, Mo's bullying me good. So Bus,
I have an adult onset shrimp allergy.
Sushi.
So Busegger told me the last cruise he was on, or the only other cruise he was on, was with his mom. And I'm like, God damn, that's such a Busegger thing. And how's this cruise compared to the last cruise you were on with your mom?
I didn't really drink on the other cruise because I had to buy all my drinks. So I'm kind of a cheap guy, and so I'll have a beer here, a beer there. But here I haven't even drank that much, I didn't think, on this cruise. But not as much as a lot of these folks. I've had a few, though.
Yeah, I had a guy that actually found me.
How many beers today? I've had 0 beers today.
There was a guy that found me and said I was hanging with Busegger. He had 8 beers.
I know a lot of people are keeping count on how many beers
of your beers, yes.
Those bullies.
Happens.
Oh, I know.
They're bullying you.
Did you guys see Bus at the
I get
glow
bullied
party
all the time.
last
They'll be like,
night?
oh, you still drink?
Bus was dancing his ass off last night at the
Yeah.
glow
What
party.
were you?
Oh, yeah. I feel I can drink more if I dance more. I sweat it out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's math. It works.
What's your dance of choice?
Oh, I'm just all
Hands
over
in the
place.
air.
A lot of times, so my wife told me, so my wife's not here, she didn't come on the cruise, but one of the warnings, when I go dancing, I'm not allowed to get too close to women because I hit them a lot because I have really long arms.
Oh, I thought you were.
And I've done this on multiple occasions.
I thought that was
dancing, and then I hit them on accident.
I thought that was going in a very different direction for a second.
Yeah, I mean, it still went bad too because basically what he says is, I don't go dancing because I hit women. Right? That's what I heard. I mean, if you boil it down.
And it's not because I'm like drunk. I just have really long arms.
What did your wife say?
That's a good one. I'm gonna start using when the cops show up. I'm like, sorry, my arms are so long.
Bussecker, what did your wife say when you told her you were going on the cruise? What was the warning for real?
So I told my wife several months ago that I was going on this cruise, but I kind of said it in passing. I was like, oh, I'm going to go on this cruise.
Yep,
and then I didn't say anything for like 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Tom does.
And then earlier this week, it was like Monday, I was like, oh, by the way, I'm going on a cruise on Thursday. And she's like, oh, really?
Did she tell you, like, you better not do anything like that?
No, it's fine.
When I go on this cruise, my wife says to me, she's like, you better not let a listener suck your dick or throw you overboard. I'm like, those are the only two things? Suck my dick or throw me overboard. And I'm like, all right, I won't let those two things happen.
Yeah, that's so specific.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I picture you getting a blowjob from a local. It's like, beat the system.
Have you heard about Tom Van's system?
Yeah, it's the loophole. I also would like to see him find the one person that does both. Like I'm gonna suck your dick and throw you over, motherfucker.
It would have to be moved like this. Yeah.
No. I mean, you're already tied up.
Oh, okay.
You're tied up. I'm sucking your dick, and then you're like, no, don't throw me over. I'm like, enjoy this, because this is it. I'm gonna make it a good one. Could you? And here's the real question: knowing you're gonna get thrown over. Could you get hard? I don't know. I think I could. I think I could.
That's a weird fight at that point where you're like trying to not finish so you can't get thrown overboard. That would speak to the skill of the blower. They could
you're right.
overcome your fear of death.
Yeah, I'm like, God, I've been sucking your dick for 5 hours. I just want to throw you overboard, you fucking idiot.
So...
Tom, goddamn you bullies! Everywhere.
Pull it into a blowjob.
So last night after the glow party, we were all sitting around. Everybody was drunk and high out of their minds. So Bussecker was there, and Samantha was convinced that Bussecker was somehow the new Messiah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he is Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I was also on mushrooms, but I'm convinced still. But he's the most pure human being. He can have fun in any situation. He doesn't have to be wasted.
No. So everybody's singing Bussecker's praises, and as they're doing that, I'm looking him in the face, and I'm like, this motherfucker might be a serial killer.
I mean, he looks like it, right?
And I'm like, it's a perfect disguise. Everybody's like, likable guy, friendly next door neighbor.
He's not. I mean,
jolly. Ned Flanders.
So normal looking. He's not normal looking.
I'm like, this guy is tying people up in his basement and slaughtering them.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Dan Cummings is here. He's done a lot of shows about serial killers.
Know.
And he fits the profile of your classic BTK, right? Like, look at him. It's a perfect disguise. I mean, like, you could literally kill everybody on the ship and nobody would suspect it's you.
That's true.
I think this serial killer profile is a little bit more than seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a few other things.
What are those? Do you know some of those things?
I mean, I guess if you want
head
to
trauma as a child.
Yeah, did you have exactly
animal cruelty, arson?
No, none of that.
They've proven some
He's
of that.
never had any trauma in his life.
I saw you kick a turtle in Nassau. Stomping it. I'm like, God damn.
How's your relationship with your mom? Is it like a good relationship?
It's good.
We're on a cruise with her.
But is it too good? Like, would you
did
let her?
No.
We did go on a cruise together last year.
Would you let her suck your dick and throw you overboard?
Did you share a bed?
Because that's serial killer type shit.
Right.
I think.
And like, do you introduce your mom and then it's you in a wig and you come outside? Like, something's weird. You can't be that normal and that nerdy. So I'm convinced now.
I'm pretty sure
afraid
he
of
went to
Bussecker.
the library in Nassau.
You did.
I did. No, I did like you. I kind of just wandered around Nassau because I didn't really want to go to the beach.
He was looking for the scoop. Give me the story.
I just wanted to walk around, and so the first place I stopped was the library and the National History Museum, and they were.
He's Jesus.
It was closed. And so I was a little disappointed.
Oh, did you look at it and you're like, well, gosh darn it.
That would only be serial killer territory if he finished it with "Mother insisted I visit the library."
For some reason, the National Library, I imagine like bookshelves, but it's just bottles with scrolls inside it.
Yeah. They
then,
keep
like-
the parchments in the yard-long beers.
Yeah.
All the way down in the tube.
So,
By the way, I got a quick question. I was sitting there. What does a cut-up Coke can have anything to do with the Bahamas? Could you not have found a more Bahama thing?
you know, because it means...
Yeah, like what would be a better Bohemian gift? You guys shout something out. Titties! Yeah, bring your son's
Coconut
titties.
bra?
I did think I was gonna find like some sort of, when I walked in there, like some sort of mogwai, like he's gonna be like, hey, like, look at this. And then,
Yo,
like,
you heard the song, man. This is real baby shark. And you're like, oh shit, I gotta keep this thing alive all the way until I get home. They'll love it. They'll sing the song. It'll chomp their fingers.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen those at like a county fair. Like, it's not a Bahamas thing.
Yeah, but it's all about extreme poverty and turning trash into something cool. That's what I wanted. But I was thinking
That's what life's all about, Tom.
I was thinking about if I did find a mogwai, I'd take it home, and then, of course, I don't follow fucking directions and feed it.
Well,
out
he'd
to
just
them.
give, if Tom had bought a mogwai, a Bohemian mogwai too, first of all, it would have the cutest little dreadlocks you've ever seen. And then he just hands it to his boys and they're playing. Of course they get it wet because the first thing they do is they shove it in the pool. Then there's mogwais all in his backyard. Then they overfeed it. One of them turns into Stripe. It's still got the fucking dreadlocks and smoking cigarettes with Crystal.
My wife, she's an animal lover. She's like, I'm trying to,
like, he wants to kill them. They're killing all of his neighbors. Crystal's buddying up to one of them. She's like, I tell you all my problems. I feel like we really connect.
Yeah, I'm trying to shoot. He's like, no, I love him. Well, Busdecker, are you going to party tonight or last night?
Sure, why not?
All right.
I'm getting ready for this karaoke.
Yeah, tonight.
Yeah, are you guys, who's planning on performing karaoke?
Yeah. You got to sign up
Two
early.
people, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm going to do it too. I think I'm going to sing.
Is there a prize involved with the karaoke or not?
Oh yeah. If Tony brought them, I have no idea.
Yeah.
You get if you win, you get to blow Tom and throw him overboard.
Yeah.
Grand prize.
Wait till we're in distance of Orlando so I can swim. Like I can actually swim, but like how far could I actually get before I die?
Anybody had any stories on this particular boat? Anybody had anything that happened to them that was bad or good or?
I did. I won't bust him out, but a gentleman did say he's like, I had to pee really bad, and I was trying to get my key card in the door, and he's like, then I just started pissing myself, and I'm like, that's a medical problem.
Yeah, that's not good.
You need to immediately go to the doctor when we get home because you should be able to hold your pee-pee a little bit longer.
I've had a nosebleed since we left port. It just won't stop.
Also,
So wait, Zach peed on the inside of his cabin and right on the outside?
yeah. Then he's like, I know they're gonna charge me. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they can't differentiate like spilled shit and pee-pee.
Speaking of that, when we went to that Blue Lagoon island. Like, should I even talk about this? Okay, when we went to the Blue Lagoon island, there was oh man, this is kind of a bummer. There was like a guy walking around that I think had a colostomy hole, right? I started calling them colostomers because I was trying to be proper and I don't know how to say it, you know?
Yeah.
But it looked as if he didn't bring his plug. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm making this up, all right? I'm trying to be respectful.
Is it insensitive to be like, put a bandana around it or something?
Yeah,
You know-
that's what I'm saying. Like, is it insensitive to say, like,
sticker.
just tape a hat over it?
Party patch over it.
Yeah.
You know, they probably fed him breakfast over Big Tim.
Yeah. So what he did is that he didn't have his plug. I'm assuming there's a plug there, a port, right? A port? That sounds right. Look, I'm doing what I can. I watch Grey's Anatomy. So it looks like he didn't have his port, and he looks like he's in his stateroom, and they're like, "Cuckoo. This is the call for the last tender. This is the call for the last tender." Cuckoo. He's like, "Fuck! I gotta get down there." So he starts stuffing cotton in his hole, and then he just, wets it, the top of it. He's like, well, That'll do. And then off to the beach he went. So Tom and I are sitting there, and this guy's making the rounds coming back and forth, and I'm like, what the fuck? That guy's got a colostomer hole. I'm like, what is the protocol on that? Because I don't know anything about that. I don't want to be insensitive, but I'm with Tom. I think.
Yeah, just say anything.
I think you put a hot dog bun over it. You know,
something. Spare us.
I like on the one hand, I mean, obviously kind of gross, but on the other hand, man, he's not letting that stuff slow him down. He's living life. He just little leaky shit's not going to stop him from getting some sun time in.
I'm living my best life.
Yep. He's an inspiration.
Yeah. Motherfucker, that's great.
Since my wife,
he heard us too talking about him. That's the part I didn't want to tell you. Yeah. When I looked at Tom, I was like, "Yeah, we should call him colostomers," and he was like, "Man,
You guys are.
And then you
You're
forgot.
such a bully over there.
yeah, I'm the bully."
And you forgot to mention.
I'm the real bully.
we're doing 1980s bullying.
Yeah.
That's way different.
Oh, you don't want that. That's
and then
hazing.
you found out that the guy you've been talking to, it's Ryan Cabrera.
On the way
He's
down.
been dealing with some stuff.
Yeah.
Getting it taken care of.
Yeah.
I've been.
Hey guys, before this next song, let me just I'm gonna change my bag.
I've been FaceTiming my wife because she couldn't go on the cruise. And if you get the Wi-Fi package, you could FaceTime, as the technology is ridiculous. So I'm in my room FaceTiming my wife, and she's checking out. She had to go. Grandfather passed away, and she's going to the service. And they picked this weekend, which is a shame because it's the cruise. Anyway,
It's a bummer of a story so far.
it gets better.
So I
Dan.
really miss my wife, is what I'm saying to you guys.
What do you know about stand-up comedy? I bring them down, and then real farther down. That's it, and then we leave. That's how to get them. So I'm FaceTiming with her, and she's like,
Yeah,
getting
this
ready.
is FaceTiming. I'm FaceTiming with her. She's about to throw me over.
And so she loads the kids in the car and everything, and then she puts her cell phone on the dash. So I'm looking at my two sons sitting in their car seats, right?
You're fathering from a Russian dash cam.
Yeah. So we're talking, whatever. She's like, I gotta turn in the keys because the Marco Island Hotel is like an old school little cottage, and they still have keys. She's like, I have to actually check out. So I'm just gonna jump out of the car real quick and I have to turn in the keys in the lobby. So can you watch the boys? And I'm like, oh yeah. So mind you, I'm in the goddamn ship in my room. And I'm like, hey, Tommy, hey, Max. They're like, hey, Dada. Now, my wife gets out of the car and leaves, and then automatically I'm struck with panic. I'm like, what happens if some fucking guy jumps in the car? And I'm watching it happen through FaceTime. And they start,
hey, oh shit, are you a senior frog? He's driving away. Some guy's literally driving away.
no! And then what can I do? I'm in the ship, and then like all of a sudden you like, ding, and then I'm like, nothing. I'm like, it's how they jump off the boat.
I mean, there is nothing you could do. Wouldn't you feel helpless?
Yeah.
That's when you just shut it off. I think you have to turn it off.
No, you leave it on. You got to see their last dying.
Oh my God! What is sad? Serial killer! I told you,
That's fucked up,
motherfuckers!
man. That's fucked up.
No, I had a plan. That's when I get.
What if they do something really fucked up? What if you're watching, right, and you're like, oh my God, this is gonna go so bad. And then what if like Tommy's like, you're my favorite friend. You know, like what if they're like, this is the life I want. I love the excitement of this. Take me with you, car thief.
I already thought it was like, if a carjacker takes my kids and turns off my phone, I'll just get Zach from Ohio to blow me and throw me overboard.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we appreciate everything. I think we're done with today's podcast. Thank you so much for coming on the cruise.
I
We really
like the
appreciate it.
declaration.
Remember, up next, we're going to Mediocre Idol. Now, we're going to take a big group picture. So,
Now, we always do those, but here's the thing. In order to make this go smoothly and also to make sure that you're seen, when we get up here, it's going to be pretty imperative that you listen to Tony and or Deb, because they're going to be working with a photographer to get a really good photo of all of us that we can post online. If we haven't already said it, I'll say it now. You guys are the best listeners in the world by far.
Thank you so much.
And I'm not even just saying that. You guys, like, I bring my family on these cruises because you guys are awesome. And you're sweet to me, you're sweet to our wives, and I bring my kid, and you're sweet to my daughter. I mean, that's fucking awesome. You know, I mean,
we appreciate it.
That's the dream job, is the fact that you guys are so cool. And I love every single one of you. If you haven't said hi to us, please make the time to come up and say hi, because I love it, and I want to meet everybody. I don't want anybody saying, you know, I didn't see Daniel, or I didn't get to say hi to Tom.
Yeah, that means a lot. I mean, based on how you feel about bullies, to say these things.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Really
if you want to bring me sushi, that's where I draw the line.
I'll take the sushi. Bring sushi.
Also, we got something special this year. The guys from 360 Images have been taking pictures and filming.
You guys are documented, so.
So they're going to be putting together a cruise video for we're going to release, and they're getting you know, basically
There's
everything
Joe right
we do, and so we're going to have a really cool cruise video that you know, we're going to give away for free for all you guys. So you know, I want to thank the guys from 360. Thank you very much.
360 rules.
All right, so
Is it photo time?
we're going to make our way up on just.